Did your school have a school genius that was frighteningly talented or intelligent? Where are they now, and what are they currently doing? School genius was an absolute sweetheart, and still is. He received 98% on the IB, International Baccalaureate, and went to Oxford to study law. We are Australian, so that is a big deal. He has since returned and become a corporate lawyer earning huge amounts, met his now wife at a corporate event, and at the age of 36 has two beautiful little girls. His parents were extremely well off, but he also worked his ass off to get to where he is today. He is one of those rich white guys that fortunately doesn't take anything for granted and knows how lucky he has been, but can also hold his head high because he has worked hard for everything he has. My friend Ian was the smartest kid in school. He was 2 grades above me, got a perfect score on SAT, and actually wrote the skeleton of a play for the drama club. Me and some other people higher up in the club all sat down with him and our drama teacher and did some editing, like made lines shorter, easier to memorize. He used really big words, added or changed characters so we could use more people in the production. He jokingly applied to Yale just to see what would happen. He actually got in and they really wanted him to go, just not enough to lower prices enough for someone from Hicksville and all to go there. He ended up going to Michigan Tech. I don't remember what his major is. My school's genius was painfully awkward and socially inept, but still a pretty nice guy. Perfect score on the ACT and the SATs. I have no idea where he chose to go to school. He owns his own lighting design company along with his wife, who is an interior decorator. They just bought their 3rd vacation home. So my high school was a gifted school. With the exception of scholarship purposes, we all went to top 30 universities. But still, I didn't meet real genius until I went to college. This guy, 1 year above me, went on College Jeopardy and annihilated everyone. He was tens of thousands of dollars ahead of everyone every round. He won overall. Graduated from our school, then went to our rival MIT and got his PhD, and now he's the principal engineer at Intel. One of my friends knew him personally. He said he was weird as hell, but being weird as hell is kind of normal in Nerd Haven. Is that why Intel is doing so poorly lately? Do you know that I give you money for uploading my videos to TikTok, and the one who gains the most views in a month gets an extra $1,000? More details on my Discord server, link in the comments. This guy was beyond genius. I mean, just knew a little bit of everything valedictorian, etc. He was rather sheltered by his own choosing. Got a full ride scholarship to MIT. In his first semester, he discovered he really liked women and alcohol. Ended up dropping out after that first year and had a pretty messed up life for a decade or so. Something, I don't know what, woke him up and he turned himself around and is currently an executive for one of the world's largest construction firms. I knew a genius in high school who jumped 2 grades. He was 12 as a freshman. He was first seat in symphony orchestra, attracted all the girls' attention, and excelled in every class including Calculus AB and Physics II. This kid was pretty humble and introverted, but showed signs of mental illnesses like schizophrenia. I saw him last year in high school just randomly shaking his head and arm and returning back to normal like nothing had happened. I went to middle school with an incredibly intelligent boy. Super smart, very attractive, was the adopted son of the wealthiest family in town. Died from a brain tumor when we were 13. That was about 40 years ago, and I still wonder how his life would have turned out. I had the school genius in my class. She always had the best grades in all school. Could have gone to med school if she wanted. Went to law school because her parents were both lawyers. It took her almost twice the time to finish it. Where I'm from, it's 4 years for the degree, and she took 7, and is currently working as a shop assistant at Primark, a clothing shop in Europe. I heard she had a major meltdown in uni because her grades weren't top of the class, and she didn't know how to handle it. We did. She was one of my best friends. She went through a stripper phase, drinks like a fish, married a stripper, and now works insurance. On the other side of the spectrum, the kid who nearly failed every math class and was literally kicked out of college now makes nearly $100K a year doing web development. Life's a real trip. There was this one kid who was autistic. He could memorize basically anything in seconds, but is practically impossible to communicate with unless you were someone close to him. Don't know how he's doing now, but from what I've heard, he still needs full-time support from his parents. I worked a telecom job with a guy who was quite autistic. If you told him your birthday, he would instantly tell you what day of the week you were born. He would also tell a lot of people what their zip code was as soon as they'd tell him what town they lived in, before they had a chance. It was beyond extraordinary. The guy was also beyond socially awkward. He would walk up to a full table in the break room and just linger very close to people. He didn't understand proper sales speech. I was sitting near him one day and I hear him say very loudly, "Well, ma'am, if you'd stop asking questions, the call would be over in about 5 minutes." I fell out of my chair laughing. The guy was a mathematical genius, but they had to let him go because he couldn't keep people on the phone or make sales. My school genius got a 5 out of 5 in Calculus 2 AP when he was a junior in high school. He was an arrogant motherfucker, but no one denied the kid was a genius. Loved learning and loved being smart. He had completed most AP classes by the time his senior year had started. He got accepted to me for physics. He got drunk one night during graduate school, scaled a building on campus with his friends, and fell off and died in Darwinian fashion. It's truly one of the most ironic things I've ever seen. The smartest person I've ever met died in the dumbest way I had ever seen. Kid who made high-grade expletives. He was a little weird, socially awkward, but a nice guy, at the age where you mess around with firecrackers and match heads. He was the same, except he was smarter, not wiser, than you or me. So he ordered various chemicals from the internet and ended up triggering the online companies into informing the police. Armed police kicked his family's door in at 3 a.m. and stormed the place. Army box squad examined the stuff he'd made. Apparently, it was pretty much stable plastic expletives, but still had to take it out into the fields behind his house and destroy it. He got away with little more than a caution and court-ordered counseling. Fell out of touch with him, but Facebook stalking reveals he went to Cambridge to study physics. He now designs the software certain companies use to trade on the stock market, married the daughter of a Hong Kong investment banker, and splits his time between his apartment in Hong Kong and house in London. Full ride to Yale. We all thought he'd become a world-renowned scientist and cure cancer or whatever, but he became a venture capitalist instead. Now C-suite at a prestigious VC firm with close ties to Mark Zuckerberg. Ooh, just thought of another. Super gifted girl who skipped like 3 grades. We were actually pretty good friends and she was clearly a genius, but also massively troubled. She is now a working artist and up-and-coming fashion designer, which is very cool. My school have one, a genius that excel at every scientific subjects and entered one of the best university in my country for medical profession. Everyone in my school thought he would become a surgeon or something like that. Well, he did graduate university, but never got his license to be a proper doctor. Apparently during university, he found out that he really likes and is good at boxing. Currently, about 5 years after he graduated, he had become professional athlete in boxing and won a few championships. The dude has one of the best minds I've ever seen, but apparently nothing make him happier than boxing. I went to a small high school, about 70 kids per grade in Kansas. The genius in the grade above me works at the large Hadron Collider in Europe. He was a really good dude. The best story that stuck out for me is he used to hang out with another guy, Eric, who was pretty hardcore football player and wrestling no one wanted to mess with. One day I heard a teacher say jokingly, "It's scary they hang out together because he is smart enough to build a bomb and Eric is crazy enough to use it." Couple. One got rejected from MIT, supposedly because they had too many Asians, ended up going to Caltech and now works at JPL. There's actually an interview with him going around talking about one of the Mars rovers. He's still comically awkward. Another went to Harvard on a full academic scholarship and was a VP of a Fortune 500 before the age of 30. I'm still friends with the smartest guy in my school, and pretty much that I've ever met. His uni entrance score was the highest my high school has ever had before or since. He's married to a great woman and has a couple of terrific kids. He is a VP in a global chemicals company, and he's still a terrific bloke. He went on to college and became a veterinarian because he always loved animals. If you haven't watched my other videos, then be sure to watch this one. I bet it will amaze you. Or you can watch all our videos in a row in this playlist. Write your stories in the comments, subscribe, turn on the bell, and go to our Discord. There we give you money for uploading our videos to TikTok. You uploaded, you gained views, you got money. Link in the comments.